6.
All right, Frank, thank you. A young girl bound to a wheelchair is being hailed as a hero for rescuing her family from a potentially deadly blaze. And a violent brawl caught on camera, but police were never called. It's a troubling trend being seen across the country. The news at 6 starts right now.
Live and local with coverage you can count on. This is WNEM-TV5 News at 6.
I probably would have called the police if I seen it.
But that's not what happened at a popular hotspot in downtown Detroit over the weekend when a brawl broke out in the streets outside of Greektown Casino. In a video uploaded to Facebook, 20 to 30 people are seen punching and kicking others as a crowd surrounds them, most with cell phones out to capture the mayhem. But even as one man laid at the curb unconscious and badly injured, not a single person called 911. As TV5's James Felton tells us, it's a troubling trend police are seeing now more. We must warn you, video of the brawl may be disturbing to some.
A brutal beating in downtown Detroit put up on social media for the world to see. It drew the ire of Detroit police, who say people decided to record the attack with their phones rather than calling 911.
Well, it's unfortunate because we need citizens to work with us.
Donald Pucell is the Saginaw Township Police Chief. He tells us if you see a crime happening, you need to call for help instead of trying to go viral.
We need to know about that crime in progress as soon as possible.
Pucell acknowledges it's important to record video like this for evidence that can be used in court. But call for help first. Meanwhile, we talked with other people to find out what they would do if they witnessed lawbreakers in action.
I probably would have called the police if I seen it.
That's like my first instinct is call the police, I guess.
I'd rather see people do the right thing and call the cops than try to put it on their Facebook or YouTube or whatever. On the other hand, it's also good that we get a record of what's going on.
Get involved, but do the right thing when you're doing it. Because, you know, it can go either way for them, too, if something happened, you know. There's danger there.
What do you guys think about that?
And during my Facebook Live this afternoon, all of you who commented want to see the police called first, asking us how people in the community would feel if it were their loved one on the receiving end of the crime.
And of course, the chief admits sometimes there are people who just don't want to get involved when they see an incident occurring right in front of them. But he wants you to think twice about picking up that phone and calling 911.
What if that were one of your family members that was being assaulted or being injured? Wouldn't you hope that other citizens would come forward and do the right thing?
Reporting in Saginaw County, James Felton, WNEM TV5.
Now, our Facebook friends have been weighing in on the Greektown brawl today. Judy writes, a sad day when this is normal street behavior. Why doesn't it make them want to fight for a better way of life? And Jennifer adds, hope police identify all of them and prosecute to the fullest extent. Now, you can always join the conversation, weigh in on our Facebook page or tweet us with the hashtag FastFeedback. A sunny start to the day has given way to clouds and rain showers as we look live over Flint and Bay City, and it could be just the start of an up and down week. Now let's go to Chief Meteorologist Brian Bachman for a closer look at our forecast. Hi, Brian.
Hi there, David. Our weather pattern certainly has been favoring a lot of backs and forths, especially with this weekend's weather going from morning rains that did ultimately give way both days this weekend to some very summer-like temperatures. But as we started the day with sunshine today, we're kind of doing the opposite. Now we're getting the showers rolling in, but even these will not be sticking around, thankfully, for all that long. Let's take a look outside tonight at the I-69 corridor in Flint. The good news is that even with the showers coming through in many mid-Michigan locations, they're not overly widespread, and also they're generally on the lighter side, but we have not seen any rain in the immediate vicinity of Flint, so your driveway or drive that is going to be pretty smooth there on the highways this evening. But you can see there are those showers we're talking about on the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker, mostly favoring central parts of mid-Michigan tonight, anywhere still from about Clare and Mount Pleasant east and southward through Linwood, Crump, Bay City to Saginaw, Caro to Sandusky as well. But a lot of these are really just being stirred up by daytime heating and sunlight, so once we get the sun to set, those should dissipate, that is, pretty quickly. And as you can see behind that, well, at least another zone of fair weather rolling into the picture. But as for our temps this evening, really dependent on where you are. 60 degrees, still very mild in Flint. 57s for Flint, or excuse me, in Fenton it's 60 degrees. Flint it's 57 in Flushing as well. Then you get into those 40s very quickly with a northeast wind coming in off of Saginaw Bay. 41 in Midland and Bay City. 52 though by contrast in Saginaw, and it gets chillier the farther east we go. But everybody going to be in for a nice big warm up on our Tuesday. We'll have that coming up in your full forecast.
Brian, thank you. The city of Flint is preparing to announce its future source of water, and it's a decision residents will have a chance to weigh in on as well. Mayor Karen Weaver is expected to disclose tomorrow whether the city of Flint will continue to purchase pre-treated water or make another attempt at treating raw water at its own water plant. TV5's Samaya Hernandez joins us live in Flint with more of the details. The mayor is weighing tonight. Samaya.
Hi, David. Now, the state has contributed millions to support Flint's water connection to Detroit. But since the water levels improved, the state cut off that support. And now Flint will have to decide if it's going to stick with Detroit water. It's a decision that could shape the city for years to come. Where will Flint's future water supply come from? There are a handful of options on the table. One, stay with the current source, Detroit water. Councilman Scott Kincaid says he thinks that's the right call for the short term, but long-term options will need to be considered.
Until we get the lead service lines replaced in the homes, because we know that we're getting good, clean, quality water right now.
A potential long-term solution, switching to the Carragandi Water Authority, known as the KWA. The city is currently in a deal that requires about $7 million in annual payments to support the KWA, but Flint's treatment plant isn't ready to handle the KWA's water supply. In March, the state stopped support of the current supply from Detroit, leaving the city to pick up monthly payments of over $1 million. So essentially, Flint is paying for two water sources, but using one, which Kincaid says is not sustainable.
What is the cost going to be? I mean, residents in this community pay the highest water bills in the country. And whatever we do, we got to make sure that we do everything we can to lower those costs.
Councilman Juantez Davis says it's important to remember that the water crisis occurred when the city changed a water supply that was already working.
We should stay with Detroit. I think why try to fix something that is not broke?
Davis says he has concerns about switching to KWA because Flint could possibly lose its stake in the deal.
If we miss one payment, we lose ownership over even over the 34%. And I just believe that we should become independent.
Now, the mayor will have to make a final decision in about a month. In the meantime, she's holding a town hall for residents to discuss her recommendation. And that's going to be this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. at the House of Prayer Church here in Flint. Reporting live from City Hall, Samaya Hernandez, WNEM-TV5.
All right, Samaya, thank you. Now stay with TV5 and WNEM.com for more on the mayor's decision tomorrow. We'll be live streaming the announcement online and on the TV5 mobile app beginning at 10 a.m. The Orange Barrels are out in full force today as a number of road improvement projects get underway throughout mid-Michigan. A number of crews are crack sealing miles of trunk line highway with the goal of catching problem areas before they crumble. TV5's Ashlyn Hill gives us a closer look at the work being done.
We all know the routine. The temperatures get warm and suddenly it's construction season in Michigan. And this spring will be no different. But the Michigan Department of Transportation says a crack and seal treatment project starting today will help smooth out your daily drive.
Essentially what this is going to do is help preserve already good roads and keep them from deteriorating at a rate faster than what we would like to see.
Jocelyn Hall is the communications representative for MDOT's Bay Region, and she says this treatment is specifically for roads still in good condition.
Take any roads that are already considered to be in good condition, but they might have some cracking that's starting, and it's going to fill them with a hot mix asphalt material that kind of bonds to the sides of the crack, fills them in, and prevents water from making its way into the roadway.
And you'll see these treatments all throughout our area, including Shiawassee, Tuscola, Huron, Sanilac, and Lapeer counties, with an estimated completion date of early to mid-June.
Paul tells me a project like this is classified as weather dependent, which means heavy amounts of rainfall could potentially delay these crews from moving forward.
We hit a solid week of rain. It is obviously going to push back the project, but the contractor has included some weather-dependent kind of timeframes in there, so we're still expecting that this project move pretty quickly.
Reporting in Tuscola County, Ashlyn Hill, WNEM-TV5.
Traffic will be maintained primarily with flag control. Overnight lane closures are expected during crack seal treatments on I-69. Now you can find the latest updates on MDOT project schedules in the Monday Hotlink section of WNEM.com. And more construction barrels around mid-Michigan to be on the lookout for. Bridge improvement over the Cass River in Frankenmuth will close one lane in each direction of M83 Main Street from now until July. It's part of the $950,000 improvements being made to the bridge, including beam repairs, deck patching, and joint replacements. Crews will also return for about a week in August to apply a sealant to the bridge surface, requiring lane closures then as well. Well, with the weather warming and the ground still wet, a familiar pest is making its spring debut. We'll explain the efforts underway to keep mosquitoes at bay. And the generosity of a local community foundation is providing free services to students who need them most. You're watching TV5 News at 6, serving Frankenmuth, Grand Blanc, Auburn, and your hometown too. It's coverage you can count on.